It's interesting to me that people tend to have problems with the idea of a role, and we promote constantly being genuine. And again, this is kind of all coming from what Green said. It's really interesting that people have a problem with that when I think society has actually been propagated by these roles, and that maybe the roles aren't the problem. Maybe having those roles really isn't a bad thing. And I think that we're finding that the more people try to break those roles down and essentially disassociate certain behaviors with these different roles and attribute them to other roles, I think we're finding it just doesn't really work. Maybe it is in fact a good thing to be not totally authentic. And I think maybe the real reason behind that, let me clarify that. I think people tend to confuse being authentic with acting on every single impulse that they have, which is literally what 2-year-olds do. And I'm not saying that even as an insult, it is literally the 2-year-old psychology. The 2-year-old psychology is pretty much, I want this, I go get this, and it's that's it. They don't think about long-term consequences. They don't think about how it impacts other people, right? They don't do any of that. It's egocentric and they're selfish. And I think people, again, mistake those two things. They think, well, if I'm gonna be myself, I need to do what I want, when I want, say what I want, when I want. So I think if you wanna say, I'm going to do this thing authentically, maybe you play the role authentically. Maybe that means you bring your personal thought and charm to whatever role you're playing, right? So if you're a father and maybe the thing you love is sports, so you're like a sports dad, and that's a particular way you can play that role. So there's lots of variation within the roles. I think that's the other issue people may have with it as well, is that they think once you're in this role, you're limited in some way, and that's not really true. You absolutely get to fulfill that role in your own way, but there are a lot of attributes or, again, maybe traits that we associate with these roles that you are also expected to fulfill. And some of those are just foundational, right? They just lay that foundation for you to be a good mother, father, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is. That might be the trick, is reevaluating our ability to bring ourselves to these roles, but not shying away from playing the roles, not trying to break down these societal roles as if they are the cancer. I think the roles are good for society. I think they play an important part of our functioning society. And I think without them, we're seeing the degradation of that. So if you want to take that role on, well, don't take the role on and then let go of all of the associated attributes and actions. Take the role on and then do those within your own way, right? Because I think the foundation, again, is there for a reason. It's there because it works. We are not the first people to, this sounds silly, we're not the first people to exist. Hundreds of thousands of years, people have been trying new ways of living, and for some reason, these roles that we all kind of understand inherently have persisted over thousands of years. There are certain attributes, actions, and characteristics of these roles that seem to have persisted this whole time. So you have to think to yourself, well, maybe the reason for that is that a lot of these other ideas got weeded out beforehand. And maybe the reason we have those traditional roles and the traditional attributes is because those are the ones that have stood the test of time as civilizations have come and collapsed, So thinking of it in those terms, it may make you say, okay, wait a minute, all right, so maybe they're there for a reason. Maybe I should adopt those in whatever role I'm in. How can you fulfill that role with that foundation of attributes and ideas, and then bring into it your personality, your characteristics, your character. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on all of this, on roles and on kind of where society is taking roles. Let me know what you think about those things in the comments and just share your perspectives. I'd love to read them. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.